What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? I am getting ready to demonstrate class number 215 for tonight. So we're going to do this grad theme. You will be doing the 13 by 19 version of it in class. And then what I'll do is I will release the all over version of it after class. So then everybody can work on the file that's not going to be so heavy and intensive to their computer system. So Just making sure that we have some newbies in the building, some newbies coming in, and I want to make sure that everybody can get through the template in class. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get things going. We're gonna take a photo, and I just have a stock image here. I should have asked y'all ahead of time for some senior pictures because I know y'all have some great senior photos right now. Let me go ahead and I'm going to use this free pic here. So I'm going to download the photo. There it is. I already have that one. And what we're going to do is we are going to place the photo like she's sitting in the chair. So now normally I show y'all remove.bg, but just in case, if you're already in Photoshop, this time we're not replacing the smart object because it depends on the angle of the person. So I want you to be able to manipulate that. So I'm just going to turn off this photo, turn on the throne. You could just do a single photo. You don't have to do two photos. And as you can see, the throne here, and there's a glow to it as well. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead. I'm going to link those together. So throne and the throne glow. We're going to link all of that so that basically it all moves together. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll keep the placement of the photo one first because it can kind of look like someone sitting in the chair, even if they aren't seated, as long as you have enough of the image covering it. So let's go ahead and do, let's do File, Place Embedded, and we're going to go ahead and place our photo here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it all the way to the top so I can see it better. Okay, some of you were wondering how you're able to cut out the image inside the Photoshop software. Now, Remove BG does a great job almost every single time without any kind of issue, except for sometimes it takes away white that it's not supposed to take away. But we can also go to our object selection or quick selection. I'm going to go with the object selection tool. And then even if I'm on the object tool, I can just click up here at the top for select subject. And it's going to look for the subject, which is initially what Remove BG is going to do as well. Okay, and it did find pretty well. You see it's looking for the individual objects here now. But I can also go to select and mask and kind of add to that because it did take away the tassel there. So let's go to select and mask mode. We'll zoom in here. And we want to get this tassel here. So it's already on the plus sign. I'm just adding to it. We may need to zoom in there. And sometimes you will also have to change the size of the area it's selecting to. So right here, it's going by 5, which is probably good for this little string, but it also should kind of expand if it knows the elements around it are of similar color. So what we can do over here on the right hand side, there's some output settings. And we can make it object aware or color aware. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I'm just going to continue kind of getting this white right here. You see, it'll kind of expand a little bit. This is what I was saying. It's sometimes a little bit easier to do this on Remove BG because it uses artificial intelligence to kind of understand while you're online. That's why it does better online than it does in Photoshop too. It has a Photoshop plugin, but the online version does better. Come on, buddy. All right, I think that's good right there. I'm going to zoom out by doing Control minus a little bit. Okay. And for those of you who are more advanced or OGs, we're going to do this in class today because we have some newcomers and they may not be familiar with already having their photo ready and cut out. So I want to make sure we spend a little bit of time on this today. All right, so I think that's good. We got everything in there. It's missing a little bit of the flowers there, but that isn't even a problem. Let's also, we can go to decontaminate colors, and that will help also with like stray hairs, like flyaways, that sort of thing. It helps. When I use Remove BG, it kind of does all of this stuff automatically. So I just want you to be aware of that option. So now that we have the mask, we just created a layer mask. Instead of deleting those pixels, it's non-destructive. And that decontaminate just made it create a whole new image with the crop. So I can kind of see, am I missing anything? If I turn this one on, I think we are good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and just rename this one photo 1. And let me grab my move tool because I was wondering why I wasn't doing what I was thinking I was doing. It's because I wasn't on the move tool. Okay, so the other thing is we're going to drag this photo down now, down to the throne layer. And I'm going to drag it above the existing photo. And we want it to look convincing. We want it to look like she is actually in the chair. So we're going to have to play with the size here. Bring it down a little bit. Oh, no, I forgot to ask you all if y'all can hear me. I was just assuming. Okay, I'm sure y'all would have told me by now if y'all can't hear me. I know this. All right, so let's go ahead and get her acquainted in this chair here. Make it a little bit smaller. And then we don't want too much of her torso because then you can kind of tell she's not sitting in this chair, that she's standing instead. So I think that's good right there. I'm going to turn off the previous image. Now we also had on this, the previous image, we had 2 different photos here. So I think I found a good photo. I want to show you how to do another trick. Now you don't have to do this in class, but let's use Remove BG for the other one. So we'll go remove.bg, and I'm going to log in so that I can use my credits if I need to. Well, I don't need the higher resolution version of it. As a matter of fact, I don't want you all to purchase it just to use this. Purchase it if you are going to get use out of it. I clearly get use out of it, so I do use it frequently. I'm going to bring in the group photo here. Okay, and we see it does like cut out some stuff, but I was just going to go ahead and fade this into the background anyway, so I can show you how you can do it as a faded off image. And you know what? Let me do the high resolution version. Or you can do it as a secondary image that has the same opacity. All right, so we'll go ahead and do File, Place Embedded. And it looks like it might still be saving. Let me give it a moment. I did tell it to save the high resolution. Oh, that's because I didn't ever push to save it. Okay, now File, Place Embedded. Let's go ahead and bring the image in. And see how Remove BG does a really great job of cleaning up the hair and the flyaways. And to me, I like the program better. Now, like I said, I wasn't worried about whether this one is going to have this image cut off because I'm more focused on bringing this to the background, and it's not even going to be the main focal point. So I'm going to take this image, bring it below the throne. And then I'm going to watermark this. How we watermark it is we are simply just changing the opacity. That's it. And this one, honestly, I don't like this one watermarked because I think we have too much going on with the dark color of the halftone that's going on right here. So it's a little distracting, but you may want to use you may want to use watermarking. I have the logo watermarked. I like the logo watermark versus the photo watermark here. So I'm going to bring my opacity back up here. And then I don't like the hard lines. So whenever I see hard lines and I want to do something about it, I simply add a layer mask, grab my paintbrush, make sure we're on a soft round brush. Usually I use about 800 pixels. And then I make sure that black is loaded. So go to my default color swatches here. Make sure black is in the foreground. And then I just fade it off here. And I'm going to fade off the other photo back here because I didn't need that one. And that way it just looks so much more organic than it does when you have just hard lines and things just stop and look like it's just popping up in the middle of the shirt. That really, y'all already know. That is one of the first things to jar my nerves and get my attention. Okay, so now that we have the images in place, I want to show you how to change out the colors. And before I do that, let me put these back on for a second. And before I change the colors up, I want to go ahead and get my screenshot for the purposes of the thumbnails. Because y'all know I'll be moving through this stuff. Let's go ahead and quick export this PNG. This is number 215. And then I'm going to show you what the 13 by 19 version of this looks like. And I'm going to put the layer mask on the background instead. And the layer mask is already on there, so y'all will have that. So you all will be designing the 13 by 19 version. However, we'll give you the all over version afterwards, so you can basically have the same exact edits. Then from here, I'm going to quick export that as PNG. All right, now we can go make our edits. I usually forget to do this part, and then I have to go back and do it afterwards, and it's just extra work. So let me disable that layer mask so we can see the full scope of things. I want you to imagine this is not just a t-shirt. You can do this as a Tumblr art. You can do this for backdrops and banners. I want you to understand that the skills that you're learning, the graphics that you're able to achieve can be used for just about anything where graphics are needed. So just keep that in mind as you're doing this. We may start with a 13 by 19 rectangle, but you can make this a pillow, a graduation stole, anything you can imagine. And that's why we work the way that we do. All right, we work smart. Actually, we work better than smart. We work genius. When we're working in the Automizer level, we're working on genius level. Okay, so let's go ahead and change out our photo here. And because I already did it, I'm just turning it on basically. Turning that one off. Turning this one on. And now what we can do is we can change the text and the color. This doesn't have to be senior related either. It doesn't have to be graduation related at all. We're focusing on graduation because this is the prime season to be making money doing that. So I want to make sure that every time you're done with a class, when you wrap up class, you should be able to immediately post what you did in class and make money. That is almost a guarantee. If you show up, you do the work, you'll have a final product, at least a final design by the end of class, and you can post that immediately. I encourage you to post it inside of the Innate Creators, the Innate Lab Facebook group. You post it inside of the group, then you have no excuse to post it somewhere else. Post it on your Instagram, post it on your Facebook. You can even have a weekly upload to your website because every single week y'all are doing a new project. So there's no excuse not to be adding new things to your store. And if you don't have a store, you need a Shopify store, and we have a Shopify challenge that we're doing starting on April 3rd. We will be doing it once a month, But the sooner you get your Shopify store online, the sooner you can start selling and basically becoming a real, legit business. All right, so let's see. Let's change some colors here. I'm gonna go with the colors in her stole here. So let's go ahead and pick the colors. Let's grab the color picker. Let's grab, there's this teal color, and I'm gonna double click here. I'm gonna add it to swatches, and I'm just gonna call it 1. Make sure that add to my current library is turned off. That's 1. Then I'm gonna grab the orange. And if it's not as clean or bright of a color as I want, then I can shift the colors. But let me just zoom in here a little bit. Actually, I already have an orange, so I'm going to leave that. The third color is a red. There's some good red right there. Perfect. So now I can add that to swatches. Perfect. So all I'm going to change in this, I have 4 colors I can change here. And I'm going to zoom out so I can see where these colors are. Now, if you go with the whole smart color principle here, basically everywhere that you see this color, it is going to change in each of those locations. That's the whole point of us developing and using the smart colors. All right, so I'll leave the orange there because I think it's pretty much the same color. For the blue, I'm going to double click there. And then if we want to change this color, I'll duplicate the layer. Changing that color, we go over to the swatches and you'll see that it saved that teal color and the red that I picked up. So I'm just going to hit yes to update those changes. And everywhere that it was previously, that bright blue color should now be this darker teal color. And we'll also go ahead and change out the pink glow here. Let's make that red instead. So let's double click on the pink here. Duplicate. Double click on this color. Or actually, we don't have to double click on the color at all. We can just straight up pick it up from right here. Let's say yes to save those changes. All right. So now we have the red change there. And let's go ahead and also, for the glow here, in order to keep it really, really simple, let's see, let's do the glow here. So I'm going to the Fresh Senior Group text. Double click on the FX and you'll see that there is an outer glow. You can change the color of that glow to any color that's in the image just by picking here. And then you do the same thing down here with the name group. You'll double click and change the color of the outer glow here. And since we already have this color picked, you could literally grab the exact color that we did from before. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and do the throne glow here. Right now it's on color. We're going to change it to normal. And then the throne glow will automatically change to the same color as one of our smart colors here. All right, and you can see what it looks like if we change the glow to a different color. And if you don't want to keep like the green there, because the green is kind of that standard kind of 90s look that we're going for. Let's say you want to keep it consistent with the brand colors. So we could take that green and we can make it any color we want. Or if we want to leave the green there, we can just change. Yeah, let's pick a different color. Let's do that gray there just to see. Because we technically don't have a fourth color. So if we wanted to keep it within our, I think I would like the orange better. Yeah, I think I would like the orange better. As a matter of fact, let's grab the color orange. It's a little bit darker. And I'm going to clean it up a little bit because I don't like how dark it is. I want it a little bit brighter than that. And then I'm going to change this gray to that orange, just so we can get a variation of what it looks like with the green versus a different color. All right. And then now for the background color, because we're using orange here in the foreground, I'm going to see what it looks like with the teal. I like the teal as the background instead. And you do have some effects here on the text that you can play with, taking on or off, or even making it less opaque. I'm going to take the fade off of this text here, just so we can see the difference there. And it has some little splashes inside of the text here. But for me, this is good to go. It has all of the colors from the school, or at least from the stall there. It has the graduation year. Oh, we can also change the color here of our halftone. And let's recolor. We have white, black is there. We can choose. I really like the lighter orange there, or the yellow. I think I like that. But you have so many variations that you can change it to. It will look like something different every single time that you use it. That's why I don't want you to be afraid of actually learning this stuff, because it looks really complicated, but once you're in it and you're playing around in it, you'll figure out that you can do so many cool things. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to save this as an all over design. This will be design number 3. And look how quick we're doing these designs. Once you really get into this, you'll be able to do what we call a template flip in 5 minutes. All right, so that's that one. Now what I'm going to do, for me to get, and we're going to see what happens when you turn it into a 13 by 19 design. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm saving. And I'm just closing down some of these groups here so it doesn't look so crazy when y'all open it. All right, all I'm going to do is activate this background layer mask here, and now it looks like a 13 by 19 print. Now what I would do here, if I was doing this 13 by 19, I would take the photo with the throne, move it a little bit more to the right so that I can take this photo here, and I'll call this one, and I would bring it in just a little bit here, because I like having things kind of hang out, but I don't like hard lines. So if it is like possible that it's going to get cut off, I will do everything in my power to make sure that it at least looks faded off on that edge. You don't see anything hanging off or any hard lines. It's all organic looking, and it looks like it was strategically placed. All right, so in order for me to export this right now, so if I was doing this as the all over shirt, I would just straight up right click, quick export as PNG, and I would save this as my 13 by 19 design there. Oh, you know what? This little paint here, let me push it in a little bit because this is affecting, it's gone outside of the area. Okay, so let's do that again. Right click, quick export as PNG. And we're just going to save over that one. Perfect. All right, now the reason why I say if you have the capacity to work with a larger image, you want to work with the larger image. If you're going to do all overs and 13 by 19, start with all overs, because it's really bad practice, poor practice to start with a smaller image and then blow it up, because you're going to risk it being pixelated or looking bad quality. So if you can start from the all over and then go down to 13 by 19, great. Some of you are not in in the business of doing all overs right now, so it may not make sense for you to design all overs. But I would say that I would utilize other print partners to print for me because all overs are really huge right now. And if you can mock it up and show people, they may be willing to pay that premium to have that product. And then they may do some 13 by 19s versus some all overs. All right, so I am going to go ahead and save what we're working on here. Close this down. And I'm also going to give you my font. This Fresh Senior font is a font that you can install, and it's not individual letters. You can actually type here. So for instance, if I wanted to change the name, I'm going to find first name, double click on the T. And it is an editable font. It is. Okay, so let's do a little saving here. Actually, I'm going to back up because I wanted to say first name for you all. And then I am going to save it as a 13 by 19 template for you. So first, I'm going to save this as an all over. I will save it and send it to you. But what you all will do in class today is the 13 by 19 version. So as that finishes saving, I'm just checking on y'all. All right, this is a smart template. So we have smart templates, and then we have the Automizer. So the Automizer is this genius way of designing something once and then it mocking up your products as well as designing several different products at once. Okay, so I think this is done saving. Now I'm going to do a save as, and then I'll turn it into the 13 by 19 version. And what's helpful about a save as is going to save a different version of it, but it's not going to save over the previous version. So I have the all over. I'm going to create a 13 by 19. Yes, you will be able to watch this on replay for sure. All right, so now that I have it as my 13 by 19, and this is a lesson on if you want to make 13 by 19s out of all overs as well, so y'all get to see me do this live. I'm going to go ahead and add my layer mask on here. I'm going to turn off these layers because I don't need them at the moment. And then I'm going to go ahead and create my crop box here. And something's going on because I can't click up top. Oh, I'm on a locked board, that's why. Is my artboard locked? Oh, let's do this instead. Let's change the width to, no, we can't do it that way. We need to do the crop here. I'm going to go ahead and unlock these. Now, I should be able to use my top here, but it's not allowing me to. So let me see what's going on. Something is disabling my ratio here. Yeah, I think it may be because I'm streaming on Photoshop, because I was like, I do not typically see this issue. So let me do the save dance. I'm going to close it out, open it back up, and see if that helps. Because my settings are disabled here. See, I have my ratio there. It's disabled here. Yeah, this is truly odd. This is really odd. I don't like this, but what I'm doing right now is I'm just manually cropping it in here. Normally what I do is I tell it I want a 13 by 19 orientation and then I go from there, but it's acting a little wonky since I'm doing live stream. So we're gonna go with the flow and make it do what it do. I'm making sure that I'm not cutting off anything because you may not be able to see it, but there are these very faint um, little pieces of paint splashes outside of this frame, and I don't want to cut them off and have them looking like it has any hard lines. Yeah, this is it's kind of it's affected by this live stream right now, but I'm saving it as I'm going because what I'm doing is cropping it, and then I can choose the image size, and then that way this will be a much smaller class for tonight. All right, so now I'm going to go to image size, and the height of this now is going to be 19 inches. And let's see, I'll do 13 for the width. It's a little, just a tad bit off, but I'd rather be 13 width. And it's about 19 high there, a little under 19. Let's give it some time because obviously it's having a moment. And then another thing that I would do for the 13 by 19 is I would kind of move my image down just a little bit or move the bottom text down a little bit because I have more space. So this is one thing, the reason why the Automizer is so special is because it will do placement based on the object. So if it's a square pillow, it is not like it's going to cut off the words like you were doing a portrait style 13 by 19. So the way that the Automizer works is it takes these same elements and it makes sure that it has pretty much optimal placement. So it's a automatic and an optimization for your design. So I would bring that name down a little bit. I would take this splash here, I would bring that down. I would take my whole photo and throne, pull it down. And then take my mascot. So now, like I said, this is what the Automizer does. The Automizer pretty much, it takes a good guess. You may have to shift a little bit, but it takes a better guess at where things should be depending on what you're printing, whether you're printing, like I said, a tumbler versus a backdrop, etc. I need to. Oh, that's what I did. I gave y'all gold crowns, and then I also gave you, so I'll just move just the gold crown here. So you can see there's a gold crown and a color crown. So you can change the color in the text here as well, where it says the fresh senior of this school. You can make it whatever text you want it to be. And you can turn off the color crowns and just use the gold, or you can turn on the color crowns and take off the gold. I think we'll leave the gold crowns for this one. So that's all, folks. This is a technically 13 by 19 design now. So I'm going to take this artboard here and call it 13 by 19. And I'm going to give it its full 19 inches there. There we go. And this is it. So this is the file that you'll have for class. And if you are in the Platinum VIP, which is our Craft to Quit program, or the VIP program, then you get to come to the live classes on Wednesday for free. Okay, so make sure that you utilize that. You have real live coaching. You're going to get through this in class tonight. So you won't have to wait to do it later for homework. You will get through this in class tonight, and then you will have something that you can post tonight that will help you pretty much help you get sales for your business every single week. There's no excuse why it shouldn't help you. Okay. All right, all right. So we are done with this one tonight. I will see y'all in class. Well, I will see you in class tonight. Coach Chrissy will see you in class tonight. And you all will be turning these designs out for sure. Like ASAP Rocky because I want to see you all really capitalizing on this graduation season. And this will also get you right on schedule for all of the sports that will be coming up in the fall, contracts for the summer with some of your team leagues and some of the summer sports and organizations that are going on, churches. I want you all to be thinking bulk orders. If you can get organizations, businesses, and schools, then you will always have great money coming in. And then you can always choose to do the birthday parties and the individual one off shirts. But the way that you're really going to scale your business is to make sure that you can cater to the clients that need bulk orders. So make sure when you do this, do it quickly, mock it up, put it out there. You may think you're doing this for one person, for one mom, for one graduate. I guarantee you, as soon as somebody sees this design, auntie's going to want one, uncle's going to want one. Somebody that's not even coming to the graduation is going to want one as a keepsake. So go ahead and work on getting these designs done quickly. That's why they're 5-minute templates, putting the work out there. So now you can take your time and you can use your energy to market versus keep designing and pushing yourself to the last minute with every project. All right, love. So I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded. I appreciate y'all. I love you dearly. And until next time, bye.